I'm here to talk about waking up early, which is something I've improved on this year and learned a lot of lessons about. The main one was at the Sunset Hills Mini Triathlon, where I was presented with a second place for men age 20 to 24 medal, and then realized there were only two guys that showed up. And it occurred to me that these young folks are not having the tendency to wake up at 4:50 to eat the proper breakfast and show up to the competition. Not that it's got to be for it every day, but if you're already waking up at 6 or 7, it'll be a lot easier to really pull it off, be there, do that, and get the t-shirt. Number one, I've seen people, if they're excited for what the day brings, all of this can be out of whack, but they're still popping up like crazy. So you got to live a life that you're passionate about. Number two, cut caffeine earlier than you currently do. We always hear people say, oh, well, I don't really feel caffeine that much. I can drink it at this time. Well, folks, this is a molecule that has a half-life in your body. It affects your heart rate, your fatigue-inducing neurotransmitters. So if you look at yourself more as a scientist would, you say, okay, will my average bedtime over a 30-day stretch be earlier if I follow step number 2? And I'm telling you, I see guys cranking 250 milligram, 300 milligram caffeine products, where if you kind of wean yourself down to where you're doing like 1 or 2 cups of coffee and you're getting the same amount of energy for less than 100 milligrams, which do you think is going to be a better scenario? And leave some dry powder for if you do really need some caffeine, now it's actually going to work for you. Blue light, blue right, through thine bedtime. We all spend too much time on screens. No explanation necessary on that one. Specific food and water equals prolific head nodder, okay? So nothing worse than being dehydrated in your sleep. The dry mouth, waking up, it feels horrible. Digestive wellness. So eat foods that agree with you if you want to have the best sleep. That one's not super controversial right there. Well read in red ink. When with paper book, sleep not long it took. So if your problem used to be that, oh, I fell asleep in my book, I fell asleep studying, and that was a challenge for you, well, now's your opportunity to retake that narrative, and now it's actually a powerful tool to help you experience one of the body's most magical processes called sleep. Dim the lights of the home early. I lived with a gentleman for a while who would cut the lights by 7 or 8, and it just created a much more calm environment. It gets the pupils tuned in right. It just makes more sense for your circadian rhythm, in my opinion. And after a while of trying this, what you'll find is you'll be saying, oh, turn the TV down. Oh, I'm not trying to see all the lights and things like that. So it's what the body seems to naturally want over time if that's what you start giving it. So keeping it chill, basically. Experience your day. So if you've had a big day and you've really left it all out on the field, it shouldn't be too difficult to fall asleep. It pairs nicely with the idea of then again being excited for what the next day. So that's why we have up first to get you pumped up. All right. And then back here to help you settle down. All of this is information that most of us know. It was just time to brush up on it a little bit. So have a killer week.